What's up, guys? We're here with Max. He got second place with this awesome deck list. I mentioned it in the Fiendsmith Musketeer deck. It is Dragonlink Fiendsmith, a creation of his own here. So tell us about this deck.
This deck is just a pile of cards that I really like. I'm a big fan of Bestials. It's what makes me like Dragonlink so much, because like the Bestial Dragonlink is probably one of my favorite decks ever. But yeah, Dragonlink is in a pretty shit spot. This was made before the Blue Eyes stuff came out. The Blue Eyes stuff gives it a bit of a boost, but yeah, just a lot of stuff just doesn't work. It just clogs up. We don't have like payoffs for the Rocket Engine anymore. Losing Savage, it's just not worth playing Borland. So I decided I'm just going to take out all the bullshit, keep the good dragons, and put in Fiendsmith cards, because those cards are broken.
Well, obviously worked out for you. It's a really cool deck to see. We got to watch it against Mimigul, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But any shout out you want to give before we dive in?
Not really. Shout out to David.
Yo.
David's over there.
What's up?
I love David. Shout out to Becca. Shout out to Josh Kirby, because he's a cool guy.
Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and well, let's show us the stuff.
Cool. So the Bestial Engine is pretty heavy. I play 3 Lebellion, because obviously he's the best one, going first. I play 3 Druis Worm, 3 Saronir, Magnemite, Baldrake, Regained. So I don't play Branded Beast. I still think that card's a brick regardless, and plus you always want Regained. 3 Druis Worm. Druis Worm I think is just a crazy card. It's an interaction by banishing a card to the graveyard, and then on the field it's just another point of interaction that your opponent really has a hard time playing around sometimes if they can't like banish it with like an SP or something. Saronir, you obviously need to max out for your Lebellion. You have a lot less ways of discarding this card, but again, like Bestials are just pretty decent hand traps right now, so like you just want to be drawing as many of these as you can to try and interrupt your opponent. One of these could become another Baldrake. I just really like Druis Worm as a card, but Baldrake makes it drawing multiple Bestials just that much better, right? Because it becomes another interruption on field if you can put 2 of them on board. I decided on the 1 because it's like going first. If you ever use your Magnemite, I feel like I'm almost always searching this, because obviously you're maxing it on this, so you can draw into them off Regained, or this is the one that you want to summon off of Seals, because obviously if you tribute it for this, then it's 0 attack. It's not that important. But yeah, the Bestials, they're great bodies, they're great interruptions, they have nice effects, all of them, and they're level 6, so they work with the Fiendsmiths to make rank 6, which is cool. For the normal summon engines, we have the Black Metal Red Eyes stuff. This is nothing new, plus the Saferts, these, and the Chaos Space.
The Chaos Engine.
Shout out my boy Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, love that card. He unfortunately is just a brick, and there's no room for him anymore. Yeah, nothing to really say here. These are just 2 normal summon engines that just give you hella bodies. Safert can add back your Lebellion from the grave. You can double with things like Beatrice. Chaos Space, please Konami, put this to like more than
2,
1.
man.
2 would be more than enough.
It's really cool with this with the Regain as well. Like in the slowing grind game.
Yeah, like these being at 1 is very, like not very impactful. Like if you can just keep looping them over and over again, right? Because if you open this, if you're lucky, you get this. This can recycle 1 of them, but if you have Regain, then you can, summon 1, banish whatever, then add the other one, banish the one you just used, and then put it back with Regain, so you have it again for next turn. And then obviously once this goes to the graveyard, you add it back. So like you just keep looping the engine over and over again, which is really nice.
You gotta draw every time.
This card I wasn't initially playing. If there's like a replay or something, and I link this off a second time, because like this isn't once per turn, right? So like you can link this off, summon this back, link it off again, and then search this. But I think I wasn't playing this initially because I didn't want to play the Gamma Driver bricks. Like Gamma is a really good card, but having the driver is just like really shit, especially in a deck like this where a lot of the cards like are hand traps and interaction, because the Bestials double as hand traps, but they're not really starters, right? So like some of your hands can be a little awkward, so it's like I want to try and make it as like consistent as possible. But just having this makes your Black Metal so good. It just makes it worth 3 bodies, right? So it's like you can do full Fiendsmith engine off of just this 1 card, which is like really, really sick. So yeah. Full Fiendsmith combo, whatever it is. But yeah, speaking of, we play all these, including the 1-for-1, because this can also summon Black Metal, so that's also level 1. It's also just important to have cards that just like discard cards, because sometimes you just need to get lights and darks out of your hand so you can actually start playing. So cards like this are really good. I think there was one game last locals I played this at where I used, like I opened Lurie and then I used Tracked to just search like something else. and then I discarded a Saronir, because you can discard whatever you want off this. So I could put Lubellion in the graveyard, and then this is my only normal summon, so just normal Lurie and start playing from there. So it was pretty cool. The Engraver, obviously these cards are crazy. If you've probably noticed by now, this deck has a glaring weakness to Droll. That card doesn't exist though, so it's fine. Statue, this is the last engine card. This is for the rabbit. We'll get into that later. Then the hand traps. It's pretty mild, I guess. 3 Ash, 3 Nib, 3 Valor, and the Gamma Driver. No Imperm, which kind of sucks. I really like Imperm, but it's a lot worse when you're playing with Bestials, right? Because it makes your Imperm as a 6th card just terrible. Because if you have Bestials on your field, then your Imperm is no longer live. But yeah, these are just the good ones. These are lights that can help you fill your graveyard. These Ash Blossom, wow, good card. Crazy, but yeah, you play 8 Bestials. I play 8 Bestials. You can play any amount you want. So this is technically like what, 17, 18 hand traps anyways, but the Bestials double as your engine, which is what makes it really cool. That's it for the main deck. I think that's 41 cards. If you want to play more hand traps, more engine, you can absolutely go over 41, I guess, because yeah, you do play a handful of bricks, but it's fine. For the extra deck, the only real dragon cards I play is Striker and Seals, because the dragon engine is not super relevant anymore. You're kind of just using them as bodies, using the Bestials to recycle, keep your card advantage up. And yeah, SP, IP, Siluhat. A lot of the time, you're not trying to end on anything super menacing, I guess. Really, like the ideal end board is just like having these 3 guys on board, because this gives you the trap. If you have Regain, that's just even better. This makes SP, this can summon another Bestial, and then you're just trying to play with the Bestials that you have, right? So yeah, these cards are all very important. Notably, all lights and darks, so they can all be shuffled back by Regained or Chaos Space. I played a Unicorn Access Code as well. Unicorn is just another form of removal, plus it's just a link 3 to climb up into a bigger access code. The shuffling back effect is really nice, plus the discard can sometimes come in handy. But yeah, that's it for the generic links, I suppose. For the Fiendsmiths, you just have the Requiem sequence, Moon. I basically played the full engine, like the Necroquip, Lacrima, Desiree. I played Caesar and I played Beatrice. When I was first running the build, I was playing Beatrice mainly for a blue tiers line, because this deck does struggle really hard into Tenpai, and getting like D-Berry up is just like your real way to win, because like board breakers do really hurt you. But you can also use this to get into your Bestials, right? Like you can dump Seifert if you have Lubellion in graveyard to add it back. You can dump Saronir to get Lubellion in graveyard, right? But that's really the only use it has. Other than that, it's just there. So this card is like cuttable. You could play like a Chaos Angel. I think I missed Chaos Angel quite a few times. I didn't think it would come up that much, since your only 4s are Seifert and the white and dark dragons, but it actually does come up quite a bit, because if you open Seifert, like just making a Chaos Angel right then and there to just out something is like actually really nice, especially because you can get both effects pretty consistently. But yeah, all these cards you make quite often. This card's really nice to have, because if you're ever just doing stuff with your Fiendsmith lines, right? You don't want to be banishing your Fiendsmiths for your Bestials, because obviously your Fiendsmith keeps recycling your own engine. So if you just like make this at some point, use this to make a rank 6 or use this to make sequence, you're perfectly fine just banishing this out of the graveyard. Or you can even make this and then use Lubellion to pitch, grab a Bestial, draw a card off its effect.
Yeah, because you do get the draw effect off Lubellion with it.
Yeah, if you use the Lubellion effect, which is really, really sick. But yeah, very cramped extra deck, but everything just kind of works, because you're just you're playing pretty low to the ground, trying to just play a grind game regardless. Yeah, the side deck is whatever. You can just build it towards your locals, right? 3 Molt Charmy. This card was honestly very okay when I was playing it. The new Molt Charmy is obviously going to take this card's place, but this is mainly just in there for Snake Eye. 2 Delta. This is another reason why I wanted to play the Gamma package, is because I can slide cards like this, because just hitting some spells can just be turn ending for some decks. I played 1 Phantaz. Probably could have played more. It's just like, you can decide this thing going first or second, because going second, obviously it's a good draw. It's good to draw off Molt Charmy because it keeps you cycling through cards. But also you can just side it going first, because you can start it with Magnamut in the end phase. So if you know your opponent's giving you Link Summoning, it's just protection on their turn, as well as letting you see more cards. 3 Cosmic, just respect back row, Runix decks, that stuff. Talents for going first, a called by. This whole package here, I think, was my blue tiers package. but I took that out just because it didn't feel too great. It only came up once or twice against Gimmick Puppet. Got to debury them, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather just have more interaction for turn 1, and then Skill Drain because yeah, this deck can play Skill Drain really well. Like if you just want to play a battle of big bodies, like your Bestials are gonna win almost every time. Especially with Druid Swarm, like every time Druid Swarm goes to the graveyard, you send something.
Have you thought about main decking this Skill Drain?
I thought about it, but you really do want to be able to play with your links. Like Seals is really the only one that does work under Skill Drain. And it really cuts off your Fiendsmith package. Like I guess Requiem does as well, but like, yeah, I don't know. You definitely can main deck it if you want to play like a really control style, but this deck can also just combo up pretty hard out a whole board, and not usually can't OTK if you're trying to break the whole board, but like, you know, you can put it to a grind game where you're just gaining card advantage. So I guess Skill Drain could work in that sense, but I'd rather just have hand traps.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, you got very far, you know, going second, only lost to Gimmick Puppets, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, he topped at King Suck, bro. Fuck you, man.
Well, congratulations anyways. It's really cool seeing the deck. I haven't seen anything like that in a while, so I like it a lot.
It's just cards that I enjoy. It's cool cards.
And hopefully we see you again soon.
Thanks, bro.